Hey YouTube, so I got a lathe online from an online seller. I've used it a couple of times, but it's just been something that I've wanted to use but haven't had a lot of time to do yet. And the seller was nice enough to include some basic tools with it, but I need better tools. So I saw online a guy made some really simple tools using just the little carbide bits on a pry bar. So I'm going to try and do that here. All right, so I got some pry bars from Walmart. These red ones came from Walmart. This was a multi-pack. There's some small ones I'm not going to use. That was $12, and then I got this one when I was at Harbor Freight the other day. This was $6, so they're all about the same. They are not hardened. I've taken a file to them and they don't seem to be hardened. I did have to buy a tap and die set to match the carbide bolts that we're going to be putting into these, and we'll see how it goes. So these are the carbide bits that I bought. I got these online on Amazon. I'll put a link for these and some other stuff in the descriptions, affiliate links, whatever. But these things, I've never handled or had anything quite like this, and they are crazy sharp. So be careful when you get them. And they just slice right through everything that touches. So be super careful. But these are, this was like 20 bucks, I think, for a 5-piece set. I think that's in frame there. They're pretty standard, and you can buy all kinds. There's all kinds of carbide bits, replacement bits out there. Okay, so I share the shop with my kids. They come out here and do some different things, and there's a good bit of mess. I'm gonna do some cleaning before we start cutting metal here. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is just cut off this bent part right here. I did have an idea. I've been watching tons of videos about turning and stuff like that, and I've seen some of these hollowing gouges that people have where it's like slightly offset, and I thought, oh, I could keep this longer one and keep this little bend in here and then put my little circle cutter on that. But I'm not going to do anything fancy today, not for these first sets. The safety gear on. I'm going to drill it first. It's a little bit more to drill than I need, and then I'm going to cut it down to the thickness of the thickness of this cutter. All right, so I decided instead of my little vise over there, I have a drill press. I'm going to use it. That probably could have used some oil. Oh well, next time. All right, got the end shaped. I took it to the angle grinder, or hit it with the angle grinder, and then I also took it to the bench grinder just to do a little bit final shaping. I forgot to hit record on that. Now I'm going to try and tap. I've done one test tap. This is the right size, and I got everything right. I've never actually done this on a drill press before, though. So my concern is just getting it started properly, and then that loosens it. So how do you do that? How do these guys... I should have watched a video about this, but I'm gonna use the key, I guess. And I knew that was going to happen. All right, the first bit was a 1/8, and this one, which I'm guessing on for fitting the carbide bit, is an 11/64. No, 13. This is a 13/64 bit. It's not too big. Perfect. All right, so what I've done so far is I've drilled this hole 13/64. That's meant to just receive the back side tip of the blade. This one, I think it was a 4mm, and I used an 11/64 bit to drill that one out, so it's close, maybe not exactly right. This whole project is the first time I've ever used taps, and you saw earlier in the video that it was not the greatest first experience, but probably typical. So what I've done is I put the carbide piece on there, and I traced it. You probably can't quite see the lines, but I just use a pencil and trace that so I know where to cut when I get my grinder. Yeah, it's not. I'm going to come in and just cut the back part of this circle right here, and that'll create a cradle for the back part of the bit, and then I'll shape the front as a support, but to get out of the way of that bit. Also, I should have moved this whole thing back another couple of millimeters, maybe not even a 1/4 inch, but just move a little bit further back, just to give a little bit more support to the bit. I'll just show you. So this is going to be sitting here like that, and that right there just needs probably a little bit more support, but I think it'll be okay. We'll find out, and if I have to remake it, that's what we'll do. So right now what I'm going to do is get the angle grinder and start lowering this surface, making it flat and square by hand, so that the bit itself is down its thickness. So we'll do that. That's going to need more shaping on the angles here, but I need to go in and do this part here, right there, just by hand, because I noticed real quick that the grinder is going to take off too much too fast. So I'm going to do that by hand. All right, so this is the, whoops, where are we at? Okay. So this is the final product for the, I don't even know what this one's called, the diamond carbide tool. And let's see, right there, got a nice flat contact all the way through. I don't like how unsupported this end is. Well, hopefully that's not a problem, but I will find out. From what I can see online, that's maybe just a little, maybe a less than an eighth short from where it would be supported anyway, but we'll see. I'm gonna go give them a try now, try all the tools. Oh, here, you can just get a good look at how that fits nice and tight, kind of catches that on both sides. Okay. I took the bit off. Here, I took the bit off of there because when I was looking online, that's what I wanted to see. And so you can see, I had to file a little bit on the tip right here by hand. A lot of that was actually just happened as I was filing back here. Let me get a pencil so I can point at this. And then right there, I actually had to go in and push down to get rid of a lip that was between these two spots. And then on this shoulder and this part of the shoulder here, get those nice and square so they kind of capture the bit. So that's what that looks like without that carbide thing in there. All right, got a branch from my yard mounted up. This was a piece of wood that was scraping on the roof I took down a couple weeks ago. Got my 3 different tools here, and I got a safety mask, make sure everybody knows I'm being safe here. So let's start with, okay, let's start with this square-ish tool. One complaint I have about my workmanship here is I cannot get that one to line up. Every time I tighten it down, it turns that. I can't really hold it, so it's going to cut me. So what I might have to do is take it down just a little bit more and put a shoulder in there that it squares up against. But it'll work as it is, it's just maybe not the best. I'm gonna All right, that compared to these things, this is amazing. This is like nothing I've used before. So that's a great start. Try this one next. Oh crap, I didn't hit record. Okay, starting over. This is the detail tool. I just used it, but I forgot to record. So far, very happy with it. Let's just show you what it does. Make a little ring. Cool. That is fun. I am happy with these. All right, so that is 3 homemade carbide tip turning tools. The 2 shorter ones, I might someday cut those off and glue them into a long wooden handle, but I like this one just as it is, and of course that wood handle is still an option, but these cost, with the bits and everything, maybe $15 in an hour and a half each. I got to learn a few things. I did buy some new taps, but that's good for me too. I love tools, so yeah, links in the description or for whatever kind of different tools I used, maybe some of these, I don't know. But I'll put the carbide bits in there for sure and the taps that I really like. Thanks for watching.